Okay, you just saw my realistic human character, Diana. Now you're probably going to want to see how that's achieved. The first thing we're going to do is add that torso button, that torso bone, which moves the whole thing. So, grab the tip in between mid-back and low-back geo, and extrude out. And clear this bone's parent, Alt-P, and change the name of it to torso. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch the visualization of the bones to, first, grab the low back bone, Shift D, then rotate it 180 degrees until it lines up with low back geo. And press F7 or go to the three-arrowed object and change the draw type of the armature to wire. There, now it will be easier for us to see through the armature. This new bone we just created, we're going to call it low back. So just get rid of the .001 in the geo. And basically just what we did with low back, we're going to add a second bone for the entire chain except for the head. So let's do that now. But before we do that, let's change the visualization to B-bone. Now let's grab mid-back geo, top-back geo, and neck geo, Shift D, and hit Alt-S and move out. That way we can distinguish these bones from the geometry bones. So change the names of them. Change mid-back geo.001 to mid-back. The same thing with top-back and neck geo. Alright. Now, open up the Transform Properties window by pressing N and move it up to the corner. Now grab the low back bone and lock its location by pressing all these buttons, and do the same thing for mid-back, top-back, and neck. And move all the bones, the geometry bones, except for the head, to layer 18. Because we're not going to be looking at them right now. Okay, I lied. Alright. Now, pull up bone layer 1 and bone layer 18, go to the bone edit mode, grab low back, then grab low back geo, Control P, keep offset. Now, grab the torso, or grab low back, then the torso, Control P, keep offset, then grab mid back, grab the torso bone, Control P, keep offset. Now go back into pose mode and see what's going on. You also want to make the whole point for low back and low back geo, they have to be parented to each other, or low back geo has to be parented to low back. And you should basically get that. That means that the parent worked. Now we need to get this top part working. And that's a simple copy rotation constraint. So we're gonna do this to mid back now. So grab the mid back bone, then grab mid-back geo, Control-Alt-C, copy rotation, and just leave it like that. Do the same thing for all the other bones. And you don't have to do anything for the head right now yet. Now, if I grab the low back bone, the rest of the chain will not rotate with it. That's exactly what we want. We are almost done. But I don't know if you saw this and saw this in Diana. Her head rotation is independent of these bones right here, except for this bone. Well, what we need to do is have a bone for this head bone to copy the location of. So, go back to the edit mode, grab right in between head and neck, and extrude out, and Alt-S, grab the bone, Alt-S, and make it pretty small, and clear the parent of a bone, Alt-P, clear the parent of the head bone, Alt-P, and then keep the new bone we just made connected to neck geo, and we'll call this new bone head base. Now grab head base, then grab torso, or no, grab the head bone, then grab the torso, hit Control P, keep offset. Now, let's go back into the bone pose mode, grab head base, then the head, Control Alt C, copy location. Now watch what happens. Head rotation is now independent of all these bones. That's exactly what we want, but it is not independent of the torso bone, which is exactly what we want. Last but not least, oh, by the way, it's because of this copy location bone, the head rotation. Oh, and you also want to lock the head in place, so when we grab it, it'll rotate. It's because of this head base bone, this copy location target, that this head's rotation is independent. Now, I know what you're thinking. You want to see this applied. It's a simple act of parroting. So grab the object, then grab the geometry bones. You want the bones that say geo at the end. Control P, make it to bone. And there you go. Just like the finger, I also have taken the liberty of doing it in advance. Here's the completed rig. So if I grab this bone, the hip moves. If I grab this bone, the torso moves, the chest, the neck, and head rotation is independent. Anyway, this was reverse engineered through ManCandy. I have it applied to Cherie, Diane, and Diana, as you saw. Anyway, this is my tutorial, and I hope you've learned something.